Hi, I'm Bethany Wilson from Doggercise Dog Training. I'm here to talk to you about a reactive dog in a sort of different way. It's really important to know the backstory on this one, especially if you have older dogs or dogs with allergies. I have an older German Shepherd. His name is Charlie. He's a therapy dog. He's really laid back, easygoing. When I got him around 4 years old, I think I used a prong on him for 2 to 3 weeks, and then I put a slip leash on him. He was a piece of cake. He's always been really gentle. Well, he underwent surgery about a year ago, and then he had a severe allergy issue that took some time to figure out what it was and get a handle on it. And he was on prednisone for quite a while. If you know anything about prednisone, it's a steroid. It can increase the urge to want to eat because it makes them feel like they're hungry. And it can even cause aggressiveness in some dogs. Now, he didn't get aggressive, but he's definitely changed his behavior. And even though he's been weaned off the medication for months now, he's stuck in this mindset. It hasn't gone away. And part of that's my fault. I've kind of been just hoping he'd go back to, my easygoing guy, but it hasn't happened. So it's time for me to get serious and make a video and show everybody how lazy I was. And even though I saw the signs, I didn't do anything about it. Okay. So this is what he's doing. He's eating things off the ground compulsively. And he started doing that when he's on prednisone, and it's actually even gotten worse because I haven't nipped it in the bud like I should have. We have berries around our apartment, and he is gotten in the habit of constantly searching. Well, that bled over into searching all the time for food. The other day he thought a rock might be food, and he actually went under my foot and made me fall almost. So it's gotten pretty serious. Worse than that, now when he waits for his food, just salivates, overexcited. So that's another video I'm going to be doing, working with him on. And he's pulling on the leash more because he's just completely out of tune with me. I might as well not even be there. And even though he was just pulling a little for a while, in the last month he's barked at 2 dogs, which is very unlike him. So it's time to get down to business. And so we're going back to prong. And if you want to check out my how to, more beginners prong videos, there's going to be links down below for them. But this is a very specific issue, eating things off the ground. It's going to be a part 1 of part 2 series. So you can see me starting, and then you can see after I've worked with him for a few weeks, okay? This just shows him shooting out the door, which is something he never used to do. It's like he forgot all of his foundation training. And no, I haven't been reinforcing it, so it's also my fault. I just expected him to settle back down after the medication had weaned off, and it never did. In fact, it's gotten worse. This just shows as soon as he comes out, he starts sniffing right away. He's licking his chops, hoping to find something. The same thing with the gate. He just sniffs all around for the berries that fall off the tree out here, which luckily have been cleaned up, or he would have got a mouthful. They're usually all out here. And I forgot to mention, he used to love it when people pet him, and now he just takes it as an opportunity to sniff. And as you can see here, he's not paying any attention to me. So I took him off of his slip collar, put him back on the prong, a little bit of pressure, and he was all of a sudden remembering his manners. If you need how to fit the prong properly, I'm going to put that link down in the information below on how to properly size those and put them on and the safe way to use them. So I have him wait till he's much more calm and looking at me. Look at that eye contact. It's amazing. And I go to open the door, he bolts. I do pressure to make sure he knows there is going to be no more of that from this day forward. I'm back to being stern, since he can't seem to handle a little bit of leeway. So you can see I open the door, and I'm getting eye contact now. Okay. And we don't rush out, but we walk out. And that actually was a little rushed, so that is something we're going to work on, is walking out slower. It's just I'm holding the camera at the same time. At the gate, it's the same thing. There will be no more sniffing the ground. I'm going to have him sit. So he tried to go through right there, so I use leash pressure and body blocking to get him to get back and settle, and he sits down on his own without me having to make him verbally. I just kind of say it with body language. So he pulls right away, bad dog. So no more of that. So I'm shutting the door and just waiting for him to settle with the leash a little bit slack until I'm ready to move forward. But you see there's no sniffing, so his state of mind has already changed to a pretty good degree. Okay, so here we are at the park, and I didn't really want to let him behave badly, but I did want to show that this is how he is now on the grass, on the dirt, on the concrete, all the time. So it was important to show this to you, I felt, before we get into the training, and there will be no more of that from this day forward. So I'm doing turnarounds, which is gentle leash pressure in the opposite direction with the prong. Now, instead of doing it when he pulls, because he doesn't really pull that much, I do it every time he sniffs the ground or puts his nose in the ground. All right, so eventually what's going to happen is he's going to settle more, he's going to start to pay more attention to me and sniff less, which he kind of already is. See, every time. It's just gentle leash pressure in the opposite direction. Oh, look at that, some eye contact for once. That's nice, haven't seen that in a while. So there's his nose goes down again, so we switch directions. So we're endlessly going to do this until he really gets it. Oh wow, I'm getting a lot of eye contact now, that's nice. So I just need to get him more in tune with me before I start to try to do any corrections. After about 10 minutes of that, I decided to move into corrections to see how he responded. So every time he sniffs, pulls forward or backwards, he gets a correction. He gets the bigger ones for the sniffing, and then if he gets intense with other dogs or animals. So you can see we're walking a little fast, and he starts to pull ahead, so I really slow him down, and I slow my pace down. Since I was holding the camera, I get a tendency to really move quickly, but you want to challenge your dog, so you want to go slow. So you can see those pops. So it's definitely making an impact, not a huge impact, and that's fine. He doesn't have to make a big deal about the corrections, but you can tell he is settling down. If he wasn't, he wouldn't stick with my pace. Now, it might be hard to tell, but there's about 2, maybe 3 inches of slack on the leash. That's it. And when he pulls ahead or sniffs, he gets corrected. Now, if for some reason he wasn't listening to these corrections at all, he's in too high of a state of mind, and I would need to do more turnarounds. Or your corrections aren't firm enough or brisk enough, like a pop. Okay, so if your dog is dishing out like a level 5 in energy and you only pop them at like a 3 or 4, if anything, you're gonna nag at them and irritate them. You could even make it worse. So it's really important to kind of trump their energy a bit. And if you have any questions about that, then you just really need to get in contact with a trainer. So we're surrounded by barking dogs here, so that's why, you know, he was looking all around me and he was getting corrected for pulling or pulling behind me. So he goes to the ground again, and I do a firmer correction because clearly that first one didn't cut it. Look, he thinks about it and he changes his mind. I love that. So we stopped and sat, and we just kind of rested for a minute with all the chaos around us. So we're going to come here 3 or 4 times over the next week for a couple of weeks for at least a half hour to work. And then also we have to work every time we go out the front door, out the gate. This has to be on. We have to stay consistent, and make sure you check back with me. We're going to actually work on harder techniques like having food on the ground and him learning to ignore it, and just do some more advanced stuff so you can really get a sense of the end game, not just what to do to get there, but the actual end game. Any questions? info@doggersizela.com, and stay tuned for part 2. The link should be right here, and if it's not yet, then it's coming soon.